My expectation was to learn more about LED, the different approaches and what others are doing in the different localities. And I've learned quite a lot, especially from the debate on the LED stories of the African countries, and from the discussion yesterday where different regions were presenting, like from Rwanda. I learned a lot about this issue of in Hingo, where the communities themselves are taking responsibility of ensuring that they commit towards delivering on their own and moving away from an entitlement mentality, but more towards a responsibility and accountable society. And I also learned a lot about the issue of from the Uganda experience, where they are saying that they want to have a local GDP, where you can have an inventory of what the resources that which you have within, both human, economic, and environmental resources. So I take it that this is one thing that which we need to do as Africans, such that when we structure LED strategies, at least they are geared towards responding to the local situation. And also the fact that there seems to be a global commitment, and there's a trend where everybody is saying that for us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, local economic development should be embedded within everything that we do. So if we can have policies and programs that are LED driven, I take it that this world will transform, and it will include everybody and ensure that we have all stakeholders participating in LED, right from the private sector, the civil society, the governments themselves, the municipalities, and the government. They need to create an enabling environment for LED to prosper within the various localities.
Oui, je dois me réjouir d'être à Turin, mais surtout dire merci à ce GALLARDO qui a pensé à ma structure qui est la cellule d'appui au développement économique local, une structure nouvelle voulue par l'Association des municipalités du Burkina Faso qui a à cœur de relever un certain nombre de défis, à savoir le défi de la promotion du développement économique local.
Bien, ce que je retiens de Turin, c'est du 3e Forum mondial de développement économique local de Turin, c'est les partages de tous ces acteurs qui sont venus de partout dans le monde et qui ont pu présenter leur expérience, mais aussi leurs soucis et leurs défis pour la mise en œuvre des politiques, des actions, des planifications liées au développement économique local. Et du même, la question, je dirais, de comment relier ce développement économique local qui maintenant a été reconnu ou abordé de manière très précise dans les nouveaux objectifs de développement durable, tenant compte que les rôles des collectivités territoriales, les rôles des communes, des gouvernements locaux va être à la base des actions menées pour garantir ce développement économique local afin d'assurer un développement humain.
J'ai pu assister à plusieurs panels sur l'agenda qui a été programmé. Vraiment, c'était très bénéfique. Il y a plusieurs pays qui sont déjà développés sur le DEL. Exemple, le côté Amérique latine. Et ils ont donné des exemples que nous, on essaye de développer chez nous. Il y a eu pas mal de suggestions que nous, on essayera de transformer et de l'adapter plutôt à Chefchaouen et à notre commune. C'était très intéressant. Et même, il fallait choisir, quelquefois, ça coïncidait 2 ateliers en même temps. Et on avait un peu le souci d'aller par là ou par là, et avec ma collègue, on essayait de se séparer. Toi, tu vas dans cet atelier, moi, je vais dans l'autre. Comme ça, on va récapituler. Mais c'était très intéressant, à mon avis. C'était le meilleur forum que j'ai assisté durant toute ma vie. J'approuve que c'était excellent.
But building right from the territories and building the partnerships and moving up in the process. Because then building from the territories and looking at the comparative advantage of each territory and as well as its efficiencies, will be able then to build up into the national GDP, which really is an aggregate of all that we do. And therefore, everybody is realizing that local governments and local authorities are the best placed to drive this process. And therefore, we need now to quickly come up with overarching administrative, legislative, and policy framework to ensure that we give local authorities the ability to be able to access resources and organize everybody and come together. And the stories that are coming out from territories are very inspiring. I was so inspired almost everywhere, but also the stories coming out of Africa are so inspiring to a point where I think we need to expedite to host the local economic development forum for Africa to be able to share what works, so that we can move from the simple to the complex, because nobody's asking us to boil the ocean, but simply saying, let everybody do their bit to improve the livelihood of our people, because our world is interconnected. We need each other and we need to empower each other economically so that we can create peace and stability.
This event or this workshop has been resourceful in the fact that a lot of countries here were sharing their experiences, their challenges, and how they managed to build up policies and build up programs or processes that are helping them, to carry forward the issue of economic development. From a lot of sessions that I've attended, I've come to realize that in Botswana we have certain programs that are in place. It's only that we're not giving them attention and to benefit our communities. For example, I was in one session where they were talking about foundations or community community development. Then we have programs that are set by the government, which I believe are resourceful, to cover that area. I believe what we need is to sit down and reassess what we have in place and where the gaps are, and see how we can bridge the gaps, to carry forward the issue of local economic development. So this program for me, or this workshop for me, has been so resourceful and so enlightening. I believe I'm leaving this place recharged to go forward and see what is it that we can do in Botswana, especially at the district level or at the territorial level, where we're dealing with communities, how we can rope in the rest of the stakeholders, and particularly the individuals that we were dealing with, and that at the end of the day, economic development should benefit them. And with that, we know that if we better their lives, we know that the economy of the territories will inject into the economy of the nation.
One, in terms of attendance and also the presenters, I think they were very good. Then I think the most important is the timing of the forum itself. I think it came at the right time, especially after the adoption of the post-2015 agenda by the United Nations. And we are looking at localizing the post-2015 agenda. And the local governments will definitely play a big role in that area. And especially looking at the local economic development, because we are saying that without local economic development, we should forget about localizing the post-2015 agenda. Because local government, LED would be the engine with which development would be channeled. So this workshop was very, very important. And apart from that, I also learned a lot from other countries in terms of what they are doing on LED. And that will also assist us to take stock of what we are doing back home, and also see how we can implement some of the lessons that we have learned from this workshop.